Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, it seems like we're getting that one more low on most altcoin charts. I have to say though, when we look at the overall sector here and comparisons, we can actually see that most altcoins are holding quite well compared to Bitcoin at least. Seems like Bitcoin is dropping, the alts are holding fairly well, which could indicate that should we see a recovery, they might start to outperform. We will see. That's obviously all speculation at this stage. Bottom line is we're still holding support on the Bitcoin chart. It's coming down quite impulsively, however, and we are now there where I wanted Bitcoin, sort of around 57, 58K as mentioned yesterday, possibly a little lower. I mean, what we talked about was here the ideal target for a fourth wave generally is 55.4K. In this case, the 38.2 retracement. And yeah, ideally, I don't want it to go much below that. Maybe a little lower in this fifth wave when it happens. But yeah, I don't see, it would be, let's say it would be unusual in the current structure, in the current setup, if Bitcoin goes down all the way to the 50% fib level. That would not be part of the plan. Okay, at the moment, there isn't necessarily anything unusual. Yes, we have a strong sell-off, but we had that here as well. We had that here as well. That can be part of this correction, but I'd like it to stop really before it breaks out of this wide support zone actually, or target zone, okay? Ideally, it doesn't even sustain below the 38.2 retracement. So that's sort of how I see Bitcoin. Good news is the RSI is it oversold already or close to being oversold? Let's take a look at the daily chart as well for Bitcoin. The daily RSI, I usually point that out when it happens. Okay, it's not oversold yet, but the daily RSI being oversold on the BTC chart has historically worked really well as a buy indicator. I would not buy RSI on every asset, okay, being oversold on the daily, but Bitcoin has worked and I will continue to buy as long as it works, okay? So at some point it will probably stop working. And it doesn't work 100% of the time, but I think it's like 80% of the time it works, so it's pretty good. Compare that to the Elliott Wave count, which also suggests that we could be close to a low. That's all okay. So just want to mention that, okay? Now, looking at the Bitcoin chart yesterday, we've actually seen a small bounce where we wanted to see it, which was here. 1 second, maybe before we dive into that further. Obviously, we are dealing here with this WXY pattern. I mean, that hasn't changed. In the Y wave, a nice ABC, and the C wave looks as if it needs another 4-5 pattern. Okay, so just for everybody to understand, this is a WXY pattern that I see, and then this is an ABC, and the C wave should be a 5-wave move. And yeah, yesterday we've seen a small bounce from where I indicated we could see one. We did respect the resistance area, which I have moved now because we don't need it anymore there. But communicated that on X, Twitter. Feel free to follow us there if you're interested in additional updates and additional stuff about mindset, Elliott Wave, and so on. This was yesterday, the update I posted there. The price has reached the minimum target for wave 3 to the downside. Resistance has been adjusted. It's noteworthy that Bitcoin has formed a lower low while ETH has not, and another 4-5 pattern to the downside would be ideal. So expected further downside, and any rally into resistance would be seen as a wave 4. So that was our resistance area between 60,400 and 61,880. Make sure that you follow us here if you're interested in updates, and you can see this price was not broken. We had a local high of around about 61K. Resistance was respected, and we're likely, however, still in that third wave to the downside. You might remember it from yesterday's video. If you watched the last one, I did explain that I'm not convinced yet that this is already the fourth wave of the C wave, because it would take a few days, that fourth wave, okay? So what I could imagine, I mean, okay, it's not weekend yet. It might be that we see a fourth wave that takes a few days and then one more final low that would also build bullish divergences then. But sometimes when we have such rapid sell-offs, liquidations, especially in the crypto sector, we sometimes don't see that last lower low. Okay, so that is just something that cannot be predicted, and anybody who wants to prepare for that needs to catch the falling knife, but do it carefully because we have no sign of a low in place at this stage. The current micro resistance area is defined between 58,418 and 60,580. And it would be ideal for the price to form another 4-5. And then we'll see where that wave 5 takes us. Maybe to the 38.2 retracement. I can tell you that certainly the fourth wave could start from here. It's, you know, we have definitely enough waves in place for that move to the downside. And if we measure the Fibonacci extensions just like for the third wave to the downside, it's already overextended. And I think we've reached 200% extension or something. Not quite. I mean, 56,160 is next micro support, but then we're already nearly at the next larger degree Fib level as well. So I think a fourth wave gets increasingly likely. I have adjusted resistance. Lower prices are still expected against resistance, okay? And there is no low in place until we see a first 5-wave move up above resistance. So that's just very important to understand. So any purchases, I mean, I keep them small until we have a reversal, because, I mean, this could just keep dropping. I think the mindset needs to be that we are currently in a sell-off. We expect further downside until we see a reversal signal, and the earliest reversal signal that we can see and expect would be a break above 60,580 in 5 waves. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.